Savage Dragon 46 from February of 1998. This has a deceptive split cover with Dragon fighting on Godworld on the left, and then She-Dragon battling criminals back in Chicago on the right. It almost looks like they're side by side, but they actually don't interact this issue. Let's check out these credits. Eric Larson, Chris Eliopoulos, Ruben Rude, covering the story, art, letters, and color. And then there's Josh Eckhorn. Jesus loves him, but the rest of us think he's an idiot. Speaking of being loved by a god, let's pick up where we left off when Jennifer and Dragon crash landed on Godworld. And then at the end here, Thor had defeated Hercules and claimed Jennifer as the spoils of war. But now Dragon steps up to the God of Thunder, and these two dudes are going to have an epic battle. But back to Earth, She-Dragon is finally getting the hang of fighting the superpowered criminals as a member of the Chicago police force. She's picked up a few new moves, clonking these two dudes' heads together. And she's so excited, she's kicking ass, that she plants a big, wet kiss on her partner Howard, which leaves him stunned and still wearing that green lipstick. And then also shocking, Chris Robinson reveals to Alex his super secret superhero identity as Star. And so she gets super pissed, actually, and she ends up dumping his ass and then knocking him out cold, and tells him that, she's not going to date a vigilante, basically. But back on Godworld, the battle continues, and Jennifer and Heracles, they start waking up from their beating, and they have like a flirtatious interaction as they join the dragon in their struggle against Thor and all of these inbred, mutated offspring of the gods. And then the other struggle is for Jennifer to keep her boobs inside of her top as her costumes get shredded in the battle right before we go fully off the rails. And then this huge topless dude, the All God, he has interrupted the battle to show Dragon that he's turned his dead ex-girlfriend Debbie into some sort of angel. And then his eyes glow white, and he sends Jennifer back to Earth, where, I'll cover some of this stuff later, sends them back to Earth, where they wake up in a burning field. Does that look familiar? This is at least the third time we've seen Dragon laying in the fetal position in the middle of these flames. Issue 1 of the mini-series, of course, has that. And then issue 32, I believe, opens up with him returning from hell in a burning warehouse there. And then, so maybe not the last time we'll see that burning field motif, which brings me back to a couple pages ago. Frank Darling, where he's investigating Dragon's origins and where he came from. And he meets this nerdy-looking weirdo that believes that Dragon has extraterrestrial origins. And Frank blows this guy off and tells him to come up with something more solid. But what's funny reading this now is that, spoiler alert for Dragon's origin, but Dragon is from outer space. He's a space alien, a very dangerous alien. And that's all featured here in this origin story, which also has the same burning field that Larson was showing us earlier. He's just toying with us about this origin story. Speaking of toys, brings us to Barbaric, who's featured here in this Freak Force centerfold. Looks like an old cover they maybe didn't use. But after Dragon returns from his cosmic adventure, he's met by his teammates and from the SOS. And Barbaric is kind of freaking out because he made a deal with Toy Company against Dragon's wishes. And what else we got here? Mother and daughter are reunited. A few more pages of subplots galore. Hor and Mendoza, Vanguard, Zeke, And Star wants to join the force now, so he wants to join the SOS. So a lot happens, but too much to detail here. So on to the letters page. Got about 6 pages of questions and answers. No fan art that I know of. And but there is some interesting stuff here. First, Larson mentions the Fanatics Online. This is the definitive Web 1.0 Savage Dragon website. And he says that he's been interacting with the fans there and even getting some good ideas from them. So that's interesting. Then there's a mention here of a Superman Dragon crossover. Actually, 2 books. One with Superman coming to Chicago and another with Dragon going to Metropolis. I still have to pick up the Chicago comic, but I do have the one from Metropolis here from November of '99. So we'll cover these later. Well, let's take a look at this first page here. What's that? Another burning field. So that's 5 so far that we've counted. Probably more to come. All right, so most of this stuff is just reaction to issue 44. There's one letter where Larson describes the time that him and his friend Chris Zito saw a UFO when they were walking around as kids in the empty roads of the woods of Northern California. And then there's a Super Patriot bio and Desperate Times by Chris Eliopoulos, and the introduction of a fan favorite character, Doofy. So that's about it. There's an ad for a Jackie Chan comic in the back, Spartan X. But next time is issue 47.